guys, welcome to our latest game. We're gonna play some mid-imperial Romans today, and it's 2 weeks now till my big Waterloo game I'm looking forward to. So we'll put up some more videos this weekend of the units that are marching on their way to Waterloo as the army's getting sorted out and boxed up and ready to transport. There's going to be a lot of weight in the car, a lot of lead, I think, over 4,000 figures I think in my collection. We'll be heading their way to across the country for the game, so I'll keep you updated on progress on that. And meanwhile, we're spending some time this Friday morning doing mid-imperial Roman game. So I've always liked ancients, and we use the Augustus versus Aurelian rules published by the Two Fat Lardies. Not very widely used set of rules. They're sort of a combination of a bit of the random activation you see in quite a lot of the Two Fat Lardies games, and a bit similar to sort of Hail Caesar type rules. So we find good fun. So I hope you enjoy watching this game. Do please subscribe and let me know your comments. It's always great to see your comments on the videos. Keeps me and Charlie inspired. Keeps us pushing the videos out. So it's really good just to chat to you all. So please let us know your comments, let us know what you like, what you'd like to see more of. There'll be, well, you'll have seen a samurai video last weekend, so again some reflections on that and some reflections on this one, and the balance with the Napoleonic games that we put out. Would be great to hear from you. Alright, so we'll crack on with this game. I'll give you an overview of the units. Okay, so we're playing the game, the Battle of Emesa, as I've said before. This was in 272 AD, between Roman army led by Emperor Aurelian and the Palmyrene forces led by Zenobia and her general Zabdas. This was a time when the Roman Empire was split into three. There was a Gallic Empire or Celtic Empire based around France and Britain that had declared itself independent of Rome, and I think was independent for 20 or 30 years. And at the same sort of time, Zenobia and her husband had declared the Eastern Roman Empire independent under Palmyrene leadership, and they had possession of Egypt, Lebanon, Syria, that part of the Middle East, and up through Anatolia into what is modern day Turkey. So a very substantial part of the empire, and that the Emperor Aurelian was ultimately successful in reuniting the Roman Empire, but it took many years to bring all the disparate pieces apart. Alright, so we have three divisions in Queen Zenobia's army. So we'll start over here on their left wing. So we have a small division here of light troops, one small unit of archers, a unit of light cavalry, javelin armed, mercenaries from the Sassanid Empire, and we've also got some horse archers fighting as a small division on the right wing. Then we've got more of the core of Queen Zenobia's army. So she co-opted a lot of forces that were fighting for Rome, and indeed had successfully fought off the Sassanids earlier in the period, or her husband had. But ultimately Zenobia turned to them for support when the Romans looked to reincorporate the Palmyrene Empire back into the main Roman Empire. So in the central division we've got a unit of Palmyrene cataphracts, their best unit on the table. We have a larger unit of archers supported by a unit of Palmyrene infantry. These ones, I do like the mid-imperial period because you get such choice of equipment. These are mail and scale, mail-clad sort of Roman auxiliary troops with traditional Eastern shields. We then have a unit of Palmyrene horse archers and another unit of light cavalry, javelin armed light cavalry. So that's the central division, and here we have Queen Zenobia herself plus an advisor and their camp and baggage. And then on the Palmyrene left wing also a strong division, another unit of Palmyrene cataphracts, another unit of horse archers, some foot archers, and another unit of light cavalry. Right, facing off against them, we have the Roman forces. We have a Roman right wing, relatively lightly equipped right wing, so we have a unit of auxiliaries with large shields, and a unit of light cavalry, another unit of auxiliaries armed with mail and spears. So that's the right hand division. The central division, the core of the Roman army. We have 2 units of legionaries, both veterans, and a unit of Syrian archers, clad in mail. The legionaries, as you can see here, are in a mixture of armour as they were in this period. So you've got some with scale armour on, some with lorca segmentum, and don't know whether you've got any mail clad ones. No, all scale armour and lorca segmentum in these 2 units. Sorry, they're a bit against the light, so you won't see them from the front so well. And then the 3rd division for the Romans, a unit of medium cavalry, and 2 more units of auxiliaries. Again, the first one mail clad and spear armed, and the second one clubmen, Palestinian clubmen that famously fought in these battles. Let's just turn a couple of these units around so you can see them a bit better. There we go. Here's a unit of Roman auxiliaries. Shields are LBM shield transfers, which I think look fabulous. And there's a unit of legionaries, again with a mixture of oval and traditional shields, scutum, isn't it? And let's have a look at a couple of their units. And a couple of units from this flank. Again, same legion fighting, so same shield patterns on these ones. And another unit of Roman auxiliaries. And we'll spin the cavalry around as well. I do like the look of the cavalry. They're coming back across the board. Here you go. Here are some of those Palestinian clubmen, mail armed with clubs, great for taking out cataphracts. And then the Roman heavy cavalry, medium cavalry. Again with LBM shield transfers, which I think again look good on these figures. Alright, that's a bit of an overview of the 2 armies, and we'll crack on with the game. Okay, so as I mentioned in my introduction, it's a random activation game, so each division gets to activate in accordance with counters pulled out. So we have a red 1. 1 is my commander, my army commander, so that is the central division, or indeed anything within command range of him as a commander. He's got an 18-inch command range, so he is going to activate the central division, and they will activate first. So this unit in the centre gets to move. We'll just start by showing you how some of the alternate activation goes. So my division in the centre has been activated first. I've moved 2 of my Roman legions into column to make them a little bit more manoeuvrable. And one of the great things about these rules is, well, one of the things I like about these rules is they make wheeling very difficult because of the difficulty units in the ancient period had in maintaining formation with very extended lines. So you can only wheel 1 inch or 2 inch if you're drilled. Most Roman units are drilled, so they can wheel up to 2 inches, or indeed if they're march moving they can do double that, so they can wheel 4 inches. But that's still pretty much very limited wheeling. So it makes sense to form your units into more compact formations and then redeploy into line before combat takes place. So my units in the centre have done a little bit of manoeuvring. I've put my archers forward a little bit and moved those 2 Roman legionary units into more compact formations. And then the Palmyrenes got to activate a unit next, and they got to activate their light cavalry. So they've surged forward on their right flank up towards those woods. We pulled the first Meriadicio counter. So like in most 2 Fat Lardy games, you do alternate step activations. If you pull 2 of those counters, you stop the turn automatically at that point and then move on to shooting and combat. You do also have the option of pulling some extra command counters that allow you to take bonus moves. So given I've pulled the first one of those, if I had any command tokens, I could use those to activate divisions at this point. But at the moment, I haven't. So there's a risk now that the turn will end and not all forces will have moved. So there's a real difficult choice here about prioritising how you use your command tokens. Anyway, we'll crack on and pull the next counter. Alright, so Charlie's opening fire with his archers against the cataphracts. So 2 shots, and you need to get 3s or less. 3, that's 1 casualty, so put a casualty marker against the cataphracts. So firing is simultaneous, so Charlie, I'm going to fire my Palmyrene archers against this Roman light cavalry unit on the hill. It's over half range, so that'll be taking a penalty. Right, shooting against the light cavalry. They have no armour, so that's actually 2 casualties against the light cavalry unit from the Palmyrene archers. So they did well. Right, and that's then it, because all the other units marched on the Palmyrene side, and there are no other archer units on the Roman side. So that's it for turn 1. We'll move on with turn 2. So quite a lot of action this turn. So the central Palmyrene division has launched its attack. Its cataphracti have charged into the Roman archers down the road. We'll see what their charge reactions are. In the centre, the rest of the central division's cavalry has all broken into skirmish formation and moved forward to start attacking the Roman lines here. On the right flank, the Palmyrene light cavalry have moved forward, and the Romans have done a charge, so we'll see what the charge reaction there is in a second, to try and drive some of those skirmishers away. Alright, so that's the movement on that flank. Otherwise, on the right flank, nothing has really moved. We didn't get the activations in time, and these units didn't have the priority. So the right hand side of the battle line is immobile, which is a bit tough on the Palmyrenes because that's one of their very strong divisions. Okay, so my skirmishers evaded. Charlie's formed heavy cavalry, so they just fell back through the woods. In the centre, we did the reaction test for the cavalry having to charge a formed enemy unit, and as you can see, they didn't actually pass the reaction test. So the cataphracts were unable to execute the charge this turn, so they'll have to wait another turn before they're able to do that and come in against these archers. Alright, now it's shooting Charlie. Given how heavily armoured the cataphracts are, this is quite a tough shot, but Charlie needs 4s on his 10-sided dice. 4 or less. Okay, and then we will fire at the light cavalry again with my archers. I need 7 or less. 5 or 6, that's 2 more casualties. That might be a shaken test on Charlie's light cavalry on this hill.
I really don't mind about this light cavalry. I really don't like them.
Alright, and then I will fire my Palmyrene archers against these Roman infantry that they are facing off against. So 5s for my archers. That's 1 casualty against the Romans. We will now fire our Parthian archers, or Palmyrene horse archers, using the Parthian shot rule also against these. So my horse archers have got a much harder ask. They need 3s or less to do a casualty. They do 1 more, so that's 2 casualties now on the Roman unit. They can then retire. We will then try and fire our horse archers against your cavalry units over here. It'll be 3s over here because the archers moved. They don't do anything. And then we'll see if my lance or my javelin armed units are in range, so we'll just check the rules. Alright, so my horse archers are moving around the flank of the Roman unit there with using their Parthian shot rules. In the centre, my horse archers have pulled back to take themselves out of charge range in case Charlie tries to charge them this turn. They would be able to evade anyway, but they've done that. And that's it, so we will have to do a shaken test against Charlie's light cavalry. Okay, so roll 2 dice and add 2 to it. 6, 7, 8. Okay, so that's an R+1 result for cavalry. No, it's not. You're infantry, aren't you? Unit holds. No, because it's. Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, cavalry. Withdraw 1 full move plus D6. Okay.
They're gone no matter what.
Yeah, they fall back off. Okay, again, another quick turn. So, unfortunately for the Palmyrenes, we didn't get to activate our right-hand division, so they remained immobile. We've got a fair amount of archers there, so they will open fire this turn. Charlie has changed an order, so he's going on the offensive with his left-hand division. So they've moved from hold to activate, so that was his activation this turn. I have charged with my cataphracts against Charlie's cavalry again, so we will have to do an initiative test to see if they can pull that off. So this is an initiative test at +2. We'll just do it now. The dice I need. That's what we do. 7, 8, 9. I don't quite think that's right. And again, the cataphracts were unable to gather the enthusiasm to charge into that line of archers. But on the Palmyrene left flank, we chose to use one of our command tokens to prioritise the activation of the left-hand division. So they've all marched forward this turn and are going to be able to start putting pressure on the Roman right in the coming turns. All right, that's it for this turn. Let's move on with shooting. Okay, so needing 4s to hit because it's close range.
2.
2 more casualties. Oh my gosh, that could be a shaken test on my Palmyrene cataphracts. That would be. Okay, so Charlie's Roman cavalry is going to open fire against the skirmishers, needing 5s or less.
Just 1 casualty.
So 1 casualty on the Palmyrene archers going against the legionaries in the centre. Wrong dice. I need 10-sided dice. I need 5s or less. That's 1 more casualty. That's possibly a shaken test against these units. And then we'll go and see what units of light cavalry are. Okay, so the horse archers down here need 4s because they're at close range. 1 casualty. The javelin men straight ahead need 3s because they're at over half range. That's 3 casualties now. And then the archers will fire on this Roman unit in the centre. They don't do anything, so that's 3 casualties, which is tough on this Roman unit of medium cavalry. Okay, so we've got a discipline test to take against my cataphract cavalry. They do get to do it at +2 because they are shaken now, but I am using one of my command tokens to allow me to roll 3 dice and pick the 2 lowest. Alright, double 1, that'll do. We'll take the double 1, +2 is 4, they're fine. Okay, a few order changes to reflect the changing nature of battle. So over here on the left, the Romans used one of their command tokens to take a casualty off their heavy cavalry on the left flank to give it a bit more resilience, while, as you can see, the Palmyrene light cavalry division has continued to circle around its flank. In the centre, the huge strength of the archers on the Palmyrene side have resulted in them switching their orders from attack to hold, and partly because their cataphracts have taken so many casualties. So they've gone on to hold, and they're just going to be pinning these Roman divisions down here. On the right-hand side, the Romans have gone on to advance orders. So they're concerned again that the Palmyrenes would do the same, move all their archers up and just pincushion them. So they need to put pressure on the Palmyrenes if they're going to prevent that happening. Otherwise, again, the Romans took a casualty by using a command token off their legionary unit in the centre, and the Palmyrenes took a casualty off their cataphracti by using one of their command tokens. So a bit of generalship being applied to rally the troops, get the units back into fighting discipline after the casualties of the previous turn. Let's see how shooting plays out in this turn. So again, Palmyrene archers at short range, we're working on 3s. Sorry, 4s, so that's 1 casualty against the cavalry. Then the javelins will be on 4s because they're at longer range. So there's another casualty on the cavalry. And then the other unit of javelin throwing, Palmyrenes, will throw. So this will be on 3s and then 2s because of the woods, so it doesn't do any casualties. And then the Palmyrene archers will open up against this auxiliary unit. That's 1 casualty on the auxiliaries. And then the main Palmyrene archer unit will open up against their favourite target, these legionaries on the right. 1 more casualty. So Palmyrene archery is proving very effective on this flank. I think the Romans need to go more active again to try and push back here. Right, the Roman archers will now have a go against the Palmyrene cataphracti again. They're also proving effective. That's an extra casualty for them. They rolled a 2 on these cataphracti, so they are again shaken. But now we'll see the Palmyrene archers opening fire against the auxiliaries, who are in range, and that's one casualty on these auxiliaries. That's it for firing, because the other Palmyrene archers are screened, so we'll want to get those Palmyrene light cavalry across into the centre to screen the cataphracting and start causing chaos here. All right, can all this horse archery drive the Romans away? Let's see. There's no charges this turn. We'll be on to the next turn of movement. Okay, following this turn of movement, the Palmyrene light cavalry has continued to circle around the flank, and the Roman heavy cavalry has repositioned itself just to try and secure that flank for themselves. In the centre, the Romans have taken another casualty off their legionaries and pushed forward with all of their legionary formations to start putting pressure on the Palmyrenes. The cataphracts in the centre, as you can see, will have fallen back. They failed their leadership test. They did roll 3 dice again, having had taken 4 casualties, but they rolled a 9, which is a failure by 1, so they had to pull back 8 inches, which they've done. Over on this flank, the Roman forces again have started moving forward, and Palmyrenes have moved up onto the hill, so that's one of their objectives they're now contesting, and they have indeed captured the woods, not yet captured the building in the centre, and the Palmyrene archers have now a clear line of sight against these Roman units. The Roman legionaries on the right charged forward, and the Palmyrene horse archers evaded, and so they've fallen back. They were previously screening for cataphracting. Alright, that's it for movement. Right, the effects of the Palmyrene Beaufort are really cranking up now, and the Romans really do need to get these attacks in quickly. We've taken 5 casualties, and there'll be a shakedown test against our cavalry on the flank from all those Palmyrene archers. I think we've also got a shaken test against this front unit of auxiliaries who took shots from the Palmyrene horse archers and the javelin men in the palm trees. Took some more casualties on the Roman legionary unit to the centre here. It also had to take a shaken test. And lighter casualties on this right flank, but again, now the Palmyrene archer machine is starting to work here. We're seeing the pressure build up here as well. Alright, let's do those shaken tests, and really it's imperative to get some charges off with our Roman. Okay, so there'll be a test at +2 for these. 9, 10, 11, they will flee off the table. That's not good for the Romans. Alright, on the auxiliaries, they get a 10. Alright, well, the Roman army on the left flank's in real trouble now. So we've lost our light cavalry, our medium cavalry. They have broken and fled. The front unit of auxiliaries have also broken and fled, but are still just about on the table, but still fleeing. They've disordered their colleagues to the front as they fled through them. We're now going to do a break test on this other unit of Roman legionaries. We have used a command dice. Wow, that's terrible. 3 dice picked the lowest, 6 and 2 5s, so that means 10. That's a fail by 2, so we withdraw 1 full move plus. Okay, just withdraw 1 full move. Okay, they're not too bad, but definitely taking us out of charge range, which we really need to do. Right, that's it. On with the next turn. Romans really need to get measuring. Let's see if they can get into some combat with some of these. So the first thing we have to do in this turn is take a test to see if our fleeing auxiliaries can rally. They roll a 6, a 7, 8, 9. That will be a fail, as their leadership can only be an 8. Unfortunately for the Romans, with the loss of their cavalry unit and now the auxiliaries failing their leadership test and them fleeing off the table, that left flank formation of the Roman, the left flank division, has to now go on retire orders, being at under half strength. So the remaining Palestinian clubmen are now pulling back off the table. Alright, we'll carry on with the whole left wing is looking pretty dire for the Romans now, so we've got all these Palmyrene skirmishers continuing to push forward, remain on attack orders, and they're closing in on those retiring clubmen and starting to put pressure on those already weakened legionary units here. We will use one of our Carpathian canters to take it off its shaken status. Just like that. But they've already taken 2 casualties, and they're going to take a lot of fire this turn. In the centre, things are a little bit, well, I don't know, we'll see how it goes. The Palmyrene cataphracts from their left-hand division managed to execute a charge, and they passed their discipline test to do that. So that will be received by this legionary unit. in the centre, and the Roman archers have now occupied the village. They pushed the Palmyrenes, actually pushed their horse archers into the village, and the Romans then chose to charge in their turn, and they charged and the Palmyrenes retired. The Romans do now actually hold the village in the centre, and on the right hand side we have again spent a command point to move to attack orders, so we're giving it everything we can on the right. We've moved our auxiliaries up in support, and the other auxiliary unit also has moved forward. So that's it for movement. Now firing. Okay, here firing at the clubmen. They don't have shields, so it'll be 4s from the javelin armed cavalry, and 3s from the horse archers. Sorry, 5s from the horse archers are close, a little closer. So that's 2 casualties to start with from the horse archers. Then from the javelin men, nothing. Then the other unit of javelin men will do 1 more casualty, so they are shaken. And then the second unit of horse archers will have a go against the Roman legionaries. I will just check, will be 4s against this unit. No, nothing. And then it'll be 7s from the Palmyrene archers at the head. So that is 1 more, so they are shaken once again. Alright, that's it for the Palmyrene shooting on this flank. We'll fire the Palmyrene archers over there against the Roman auxiliaries down here. They do 1 more casualty. That unit is also shaken. And then their javelin men will attack the the Roman auxiliaries on the hill. And they do 1 more casualty on the auxiliaries on the hill. Now, Roman fire. Alright, firing at the cataphracti, we move, so it'll be 3s. That's 1 more casualty against the cataphracti, Charlie.
The back.
They are shaken, so they're on 4.
Yeah.
That's it for Roman firing this turn. Let's just check whether the auxiliaries don't have javelins. Okay, we'll do a shaken test on the clubman. Charlie is rolling. Let's see what we get.
I'll also do these ones.
Okay, do the cataphracti then. 5, 6, 7. They will pass. Okay, so they are shaken but not fleeing. Alright, do the clubman. Ah, they go. They're off the table. Let's do a test on these Roman legionaries, Charlie. +2 because they're shaken. They're fine, so they stay shaken, but they don't flee. Alright, so we've got a shaken marker on them, and a shaken marker on these auxiliaries. Yeah, they only take 3 to be shaken. 8, 9, 10, so that's leadership +3, so I think they're with. Right, so the Romans throw their peeler as they charge in. Let's see what they do, Charlie. What'd you get? What'd you get?
I got a 2 and a 5.
Okay, yeah, 1 casualty. Now let's roll for the hand-to-hand combat. Alright, so the elite legionaries in Charlie's unit attack now, needing 4s or less, Charlie. Do you get any?
None.
No? Alright, I attack back, I get 4 dice. 4 dice. I get 1.
So it's even.
So we both got 2, so we both got 1 casualty. Alright, so we're just under combat. Because the auxiliaries, archers, have moved into the ruins, Charlie did have support, and that was what swung it. So the Romans are winning this combat, and the cataphracti were pushed back by an inch. So the cataphracti charged in, the Romans formed shield wall, and managed to resist the impact of those cataphracti lancers, and have been pushing, and have pushed them forward. All right, so let's see if we have any broken divisions. Charlie's division in the centre is still healthy, as is his division on the right is now broken, because I think there was a 3rd unit here originally, wasn't there? There was a cavalry unit, and this unit is shaken. So this unit also goes on to retire orders, and we'll probably just do 1 more turn. Alright. Okay, so the Palmyrenes are activated first, and they move forward with all their skirmishers here to put pressure on the Roman left flank, which is pretty much disintegrated. Romans activated second, and they activated their central division. They used one of their command tokens to strengthen the resolve of this left legionary unit, taking it out of shaken status, and then they charged with it as they activated the division, and they have charged into the archers, who will do a charge reaction. Down here the combat continues, and the archers continue here, And here we need to do a leadership test. So Charlie, 2 dice at +2. 7, 8, 9. They continue withdrawing. They are off the table, and Charlie's division on the right needs to start retiring. Charlie's opening up, needing 4 or less on the Cavalry Cavalry with his archers. No
Was it him on your orders?
No.
Oh.
And then let's shoot with the Palmyrenes against the guys on the hill, needing 4s. No casualties. And then with our horse archers needing 4s. 2 casualties, so they are now shaken and on 4 casualties. Alright, now let's do charge reactions for the Palmyrene. Rather than be murdered and potentially break by the effect of the charging legionaries, the Palmyrene light archers have fled, so they will need to try and rally next turn, and they did disorder the spearman unit behind them. But the Romans don't have enough charge move left to charge in
We haven't
to
rolled
the auxiliaries.
them.
They didn't need to roll.
They're shaken.
No, they're on 3 because we used one to take.
They're
Yeah,
shaken.
it's 4 though, so we used one of the command dice.
We said they're still shaken. Like I said, are they shaken?
Well, they're only on 3 casualties, it says, Jelly. They should be on 4 if they're shaken. We didn't cause any more casualties with the archers this turn.
No.
So actually the shaken's gone because we took the casualty on. Yeah.
But you put it on last turn, like when we already rolled. No, okay, then you put it on.
Okay, well perhaps they're on 4 casualties then. Put the shaken marker on, put them on to 4. Okay. So that was that charge reaction.
So,
Alright, now we're on to shooting. So
no, we've just done shooting. Now it's charge reactions, isn't it?
no, because charge reactions happen as part of the movement phase, as part of the charges. So then
We haven't done this charge reaction though.
no, because they're already in combat. It's not a charge. They charged last time.
Oh yeah.
Alright, so it's shooting down here. So let's start over here. The horse archers will shoot against those legionaries.
But you can't. Can you not shoot at them?
They
because
miss.
they've already done.
No, because they did charge and then the enemy fled.
They were in a combat.
No, they never got into combat because the enemy fled before they got there. And then we'll chuck the javelins at long range, so they're on the 3s. No, nothing happens, they don't cause any casualties. Anyway, then down here my javeliners will go and don't cause any casualties, but we do need to do a discipline test against them because they were on 4. What did you roll?
5.
Okay, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think their leadership is 7, so that's a minus. And then we'll fire the Palmyrene horse archers. They're unarmoured, so needing 5s. That's 2 more casualties. So they're now on. It resets at 3, Charlie, whenever you do a test. So 3 plus 2 casualties is now 5, and that's it. The Roman archers shooting at the Cavalry.
Yep.
2 dice needing 4s or less.
Yep.
1 more casualty. Okay.
5 now.
All right, and they'll have to do a discipline test.
Shall I roll?
And let's do the discipline test. Yeah, they've got leadership of 8. So, yeah, they're fine. So that goes back down to 4, and they stay shaken.
Yep.
All right, I think there's only 1 hand-to-hand combat, which is down here in the right. So Charlie's right. He gets 4 dice this time. He gets 2 dice normally. He gets an extra dice for having his commander in the combat, and an extra dice for using gladiuses. And he only needs a 5 to win this time because he won the last round of combat. So let's see what we get, Charlie.
I get only 1.
Only 1 casualty. All right, and then the Cavalry get 3 attacks back, needing 4s. Have a dice. They don't do any. So Charlie wins by 2. Okay, let's do the break test for the Cavalry losing the combat. 5, and then the second one. 6. So they do stay in combat. All right. Okay, I think I'll have a chat to Charlie, see what we do. So we're moving straight on to the final stages of the game. Charlie, let's do the shooting over here. Roll 2d10, needing 7s, I think. Let me just 6s to hit with the horse archers.
1.
1 casualty.
I think they're disintegrated.
Not yet. And then with the javelins from the javelin guys, they need...
No.
What do they get?
They got 2 10s, so that won't do.
Okay, that won't do anything, and that's it for the shooting there.
So my shoot?
Shooting here, again, needing
4s.
4s, yeah.
1 casualty. On 5 now.
Okay, so that'll be another break test on the Cavalry.
Isn't it a plus?
Alright.
It doesn't give like a plus, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's +3 on their break test. So let's do the break test on the Cavalry, +3.
Oh, they're
Wow, 10 plus 3, they're gone. The Cataphracti flee off the table. So roll a d6. 1. Perhaps they won't go off table. Okay, so rolling for the Pelham hits. 2 shots from the Pelham. What did you get?
No.
8 and a 10. Alright, and then your hand-to-hand attacks.
It was a 9 and a 10.
You need, I think you need to, just don't get the bonus from the Gladius in the first round of combat. So, needing 5s, Charlie, with their swords.
2 dice?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, I fight back. 2 dice, needing 5s. 1 casualty on you.
Wouldn't it be harder for you because you?
Yeah,
Because I'm heavily armoured compared to you. I'm more.
Yeah, no, we've got the same armour. We've both got medium armour.
I'm higher skill than you too, and better shields.
You're not higher, yes, but that's the. They've actually got the same level of ability. Yeah, the Romans better because they've got the Pelham and the Gladius rules. Otherwise, they're fighting in fairly similar ways. All right, let's do the combat down here. So Charlie needing 5s and he gets 4 dice.
1 casualty.
Oh, I've been unlucky in this.
I only really need 1 casualty because
You would have shaken him if you'd done 2, which would have been good because you only get the penalty on the morale test. And then for me to fight back, I get 3
really
dice.
only need 1 casualty because I have a support, so I get
3 dice, not 4. All right, I do 1 casualty.
So I've won.
Well, no, we've both done 1 casualty, haven't we? So you haven't won.
I have because I've got the support.
Ah, yes, you have won the combat because of the support. So that's a leadership test on the Cataphracti. 9. Wow, they fail that. So let's walking around to the other side of the table, I spotted that the Palmyrene infantry do have a disordered marker on them. So that will have been a -1 in their combat resolution. So the Romans, did they win that combat or they lost that combat by 1, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
So we probably can't rework that out. We could roll them again. Let's roll it again. All right. So they're back to 2 casualties. You start, Charlie. You've got 2 dice for the Pelham to start with. You need 3s to hit with the Pelham.
1 casualty.
1 casualty to mark up on the Palmyrenes, and then
We have 2 dice again.
2 dice again. Yeah.
6. That's a casualty, isn't it? Because 6s.
I think so, yeah, we'll just check, but I think it might. So they do hit on 6, because you also get a bonus of +1 for throwing Pelham and +1 for charging. The Palmyrenes need 4s. They roll 1, so that takes the Roman legions up to a shaken result.
They do win the Roman.
But the Romans win the combat by 1, so we've got to do a test on the Palmyrenes. Let's see what we get. We roll a 6, they stand. Let's do a test on the Romans now because they are shaken. So a straight test on the Romans. Do you want me to do it, Charlie? Or do you want to do it? Let's see how they do. An 8. Okay, so that's the end of the game. It is a Palmyrene victory. Queen Zenobia hangs on to her empire for a little bit longer. There wasn't an effective counter to the volley of archery and javelin fire from the Palmyrenes. I should have gone more aggressive with the Romans early on. Where we got to in the end, this left-hand Roman legionary battalion did charge into, as you saw, the Palmyrene auxiliary infantry and did push them, but didn't break them in combat. And it now has taken 3 casualties and had to retire as a result of its shaken status. The second Roman legionary unit here also was victorious and was victorious and pushed the Cataphracts back. They didn't break, they have only got 3 casualties, but the Roman legionaries are now shaken. So that Roman central division is now also shaken and have to go on retire orders. On the right hand side, the other remaining Roman unit is shaken and also already retiring. So the Palmyrenes are left in control of the field. They've not actually lost any units. Their Cataphracti and archers have both rallied. We did the test just now. And all 3 Roman brigades have been broken. So I hope you enjoyed this game. It's quite fun to play something different than our Napoleonics that we normally play. I hope you've enjoyed the sight of some of our ancient troops. And we'll also try and put an army on the road to Waterloo. We'll get a video up shortly. So enjoy yourselves this weekend, and I'll catch you all soon.